critique we're going to have of the fire out there. These guys more or less ran things, so I'm going to let these guys run everything up here and tell you all about it. We'll partake of it. Okay, anybody got any questions first start off with? Play temperature, Jack.
I'm going to take all of it.
First off, I want to thank everybody for coming out the other day. And I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight too. Since this is a critique, I'd like to bring up the point that critiques intentionally are intended not to be bid sessions in which everybody gets down on everybody else and what they did wrong. They're intended to be constructive so that we can figure out what we did wrong and hopefully work and correct it in the future. And hopefully that's what's coming out of it. And I can do this critique, take care of the whole deal here in a couple minutes, really, because I can tell you, the only thing we did wrong, we didn't have enough equipment. If we had 2 monitor nozzles and 4 2.5 laid and boom-go pumper pumping and a hydrant sitting back there, we'd have been in pretty good shape, and we could all sit back on the east side of the road. But it didn't work that way. So, we had to go with what we had, and obviously everything didn't come out the way it should have, the way we would have wanted it to. Things went wrong from the very beginning, and we're probably lucky that we didn't get hurt. Dan brought up a good point that if it had blown up, we got a lot of people hurt, and also if it had happened, they said we were damn close to being there in the first place, which is a very accurate statement. We lucked through it. I don't know that the best thing to have done wouldn't have been pulled up on top of the ramp and just sit there and watch it from there, because we put a lot of risk into a lot of things, and we put people in positions of danger, and I don't know what we actually saved, but yet we have the idea as fire department personnel that we have to do something, and you're out there in front of the public and you're compelled to do something. And then again, who knows? If we hadn't put water on the tanks that we did get on there, maybe they would have gone. If we hadn't put water on the propane tank, it might have bothered somebody real bad. And so, you never know really whether it was 100% right or wrong, but we did what we felt compelled to do, and we did it to the best of our ability. And things came out reasonably well considering what we had to deal with. Let Larry jump in here. Larry, I'll go ahead and tell you, we're going to kind of set up what happened. We initially got dispatched to a truck on fire next to a gas tank. And we went out there expecting a truck on fire, maybe the possibility of a gas tank somewhere nearby, but not expecting what we found. I began to suspect when I left my house and noticed all the smoke, and Larry and I started carrying on a conversation back and forth. Both of us suspecting that this was going to be a bad one, and we contacted Boonville and started requesting a foam to be put together because we assumed we were going to have a fuel spill somewhere, and called Howard County, put them on standby, and still weren't realizing the magnitude of what we had. Larry and I got to the station, we took 2 engines, I was the first one in, and got on the scene and started setting things up with my engine, and Larry was still out on the road, so he began calling for more help. And as it evolved, I took care of the west side of the road. Jim Gann was assumed command of water supply on the east side and trying to keep things as unchaotic as it could be over there, trying to supply us with water. Then we had problems with water supply. That's something to be expected. But again, it worked out probably the best that we could hope. I'm going to turn it over to Larry, and he's going to get started on it.
At 12:45 hours on the 13th day of March 1990, we were dispatched to a car fire next to the fuel tanks at I-35 and I-70 at Randy's place. At 12:46, 203 and 204 responded. At 12:47, I contacted and Boonville requested Cooper County Medical Rescue Squad to dispatch. At 12:47, I also advised Cooper County Hospital of the incident to advise the ambulance personnel that we may need some an ambulance out there. We standard practice we've got letting them know when we're responding to something. At 12:47 also, Danny notified Boonville to tell Boonville Fire Department to get us some foam ready if we need it. At 12:47, Danny placed Howard County on standby, requested 2 tankers to be put on standby. 12:48, Cooper County Memorial Hospital received a call and they dispatched Cooper County Unit 1. And at 12:49, that ambulance went en route for the 2 ladies that was burned out there. At 12:49 was about the point when I hit I-70 and 87, and it was the first time that I'd actually seen the column of smoke coming up out there. At that point, I requested 2 tankers from Howard County. At 12:51, Engine 2, Engine 5, Truck 1, and Truck 6 went en route. Now, there was a few minutes in between all those units getting out. Basically, Engine 2 or Engine 5 and Truck 6 went out the door, and then Truck 1 come out about a minute behind it. 12:54, Cooper County Ambulance Unit 1 was on the scene. At 12:54, 203 requested that Bill Simmons and Harry Grafton be contacted at work. This is an approximate time here, about 12:55, so Cooper County Unit 2 went en route. They were on a patient transport and had noticed the fire and had started out that way at that point. At 13, let's see, where am I at here? Kind of jumped from 12:56, I requested Boonville Fire Department for 1 pumper and personnel. And Danny and I talked about this on the radio. He was in front of me on the highway, I was behind him. And when I requested them, I was about at Highway 5 and I-70. And at that point, I could see the tanks actually venting out the top. Okay. At 12:56, Boonville notified us that 201 was out of service, and at 12:58, they notified Danny that 202 couldn't be reached at the number. That was the problem we found, that our phone numbers hadn't been upgraded down at the dispatch, and she was having trouble trying to contact some of our people. At 1300 hours, Danny and I both failed to report on the scene. Now, whether we did or not, I don't know. I think we got there and kind of had a great pucker factor at that point. We never really...
I reported on the scene and gave you recorded what I had, but I didn't get directly to Boonville, and I don't know if that's why she didn't want it.
Again, this is an approximate time. Of course, we want to sign in here, put your date, number down. About that same time, about 1 hour, Cooper County Unit 2 arrived on the scene, and they staged on Highway 135, across, kind of up by those houses in there. At 1306, I requested to Boonville to have Boone County Fire Protection District send us 2 tankers. I tried calling them on Fire Mutual Aid directly to Columbia, but our truck radio wouldn't talk to them. So at that point, I had to call Boonville. At 1311, she notified me that they had been advised. Now, she had a problem contacting. We had never called Boonville before the dispatch and asked them to call Boone County for us. When you open the phone book up, which is exactly what she did, you see a number for 911. Well, you can't call 911 here and get Columbia's joint communication. So she used the point-to-point frequency to contact Boone County, and that's how we got it. At 13:15, Boonville Fire Department's on scene. Van, I'm not sure on this time. I kind of estimated this. I don't know for sure. At 13:17, Harris County started arriving on scene with their tankers. At 13:20, I was notified of grass fire at 179-1. Well, we didn't have anything to spare, so I had Boonville contact Boone County, and Boone County run the grass fire for us while this was all going on. At about 1400 hours, again, these are estimated times. Boone County Fire Protection District tanker 905 arrived on the scene, and car 100 was on scene. Steve Bossell. At 14:05, Boone County Engine 201 and Tanker 105 arrived on the scene. And then about 14:35 is when Tanker 507, that's the super tanker, arrived on the scene. And then at 15:56, 301 stated that he was responding, and I requested that he talk to Booneville and contact Huntley's record to respond. At 16:05, the water department wanted to know how much longer we were going to be hauling water. I guess we were working their tire over a little bit. They wanted to know, they wanted to top the tires off before the night ended, and which they did do. They topped off their water tires. All the tires were full when they left. At 16:20, I requested that a medic unit from Cooper County Hospital return to the scene. Sometime in there that they had left, and we had given the okay to go ahead and leave, and then we had them come back because at this
They
point,
need to transport the patient.
no, they had left. One had left and come back, and at this time when I requested them back because of this is the point where we were getting ready to start moving the cars out of the way and turn got the trash truck on its side and slide it out there to get to the valves and shut them off. And at the same time, I contacted our Engine 2, contacted Booneville to bring us 10 gallons of foam. I think we said 10 gallons of foam, but actually we wanted 10 jugs of foam. And I think that's what y'all ended up sending, several jugs of foam. 7. I'm glad you all knew what I wanted because I think I said what I wanted. At the same time, we requested Como Electric return to the scene. We had them out there once, and they had done some stuff, and we were concerned that we needed the power shut back off again to an area while we were going to move this tank and these vehicles around. And then at 17:58, approximately 5 hours and 13 minutes into the incident, we marked it under control. And then 16:05, 201 arrived on the scene. Just to tell you a little joke that takes place here. Bill was on deliveries with his company over in Columbia. We heard him calling Booneville on the radio, and so we just marked it under control before he had a chance to talk to anybody, just for me. And then at 19:01 is when the first unit started clearing the scene. If you look at the second sheet, you can see kind of the breakdown of what we had out there. There was a total of 4 engines, 4 chiefs cars, or 2 chiefs cars. Van had his car out there, Chief also, 2 ambulances, 1 backhoe, 5 tankers, 1 super tanker, 1 helicopter, a gasoline bulk truck. We had 1 truck, which is our brush truck. Truck 6, 1 squad, 1 maintenance vehicle from Boone County Fire Department, 2 records, a total of 71 personnel, 15 different agencies, and 22 different units. And at this point in time, Jim, do you have anything? At this point in time, I guess we're ready to start the videotaping. This is what we saw. This tape was taken by David Ellenbrock, and he deserves a big attaboy. He was driving by this thing with a video camera, a kind of a spotter or roving reporter for News Scene 13, a stringer news, the official name. He got footage of this thing way before we ever got there. He was there like 2 minutes after this happened.
Tape it over top of the old lady's Oprah tape. I'll probably get in trouble for that.
Huh?
I'm taping over top of the old lady's Winfrey tape.
Don't give a damn. Do it.
Butch, is Butch's house in trouble over there?
I don't know. It's not good.
I don't want to get in the way. Where's Ed at? Ed Electrical. Where's Ed Electrical at? van needs more energy.
We're speaking with Floyd Cheneau. Floyd, you work right across the street here, or right across the highway 135. Can you tell me what happened here?
That trash truck just turned in and hit the gas tanks.
It just lost control and rammed right into the gas tank here. And was there a large flame that erupted?
Instantly.
Instantly. You saw it come in and
Yeah. Instantly.
Can you tell me who was hurt or how many people?
2 ladies, but that's all I know.
Is that right? Were they in the garbage truck?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay.